welcome to the new channel, The Sim Aura. My name is Laura, and I will be your guide for however long this journey lasts. Basically, I wanted to see if I could generate any interest in the new builds that I'm doing. So basically, I've been playing The Sims for a long time, but really only got into building this year, which is really sad. But I've always kind of focused on gameplay, I guess. So um, I'm really interested to see if I could kind of develop some skills in this area. So as you can see, I'm starting off with a shipping container home. I did see an image on Google or somewhere else that I liked, and I kind of wanted to work off of, but I did update a few things. Like it was only two shipping containers wide, with the little patio that you see there. I did add a third one and then two on the back because I already had a specific family in mind for this build, which is two single female young adults, that I had living in an apartment in San Myshuno, if that's how you say it. And this is in San Myshuno as well. I think it's called the Old Salt Home or Lot or something. So anyway, I was just working on the exterior here, which I did, like I said, I didn't really follow what I found online, but the form of the front kind of served as inspiration. Um, I did find that I liked doing a little block of a wall better than the just basic posts that they had too. I also wanted to raise up the foundation a little bit, which they didn't do, but I thought that it looked a lot better with stairs, and then I was able to put like a little fence around it, which looked cute. Um, I was going for a semi-industrial look, which I'll tell you right off the bat, I'm not very versed or well versed in different styles, except modern. And I tend to do modern builds a lot, and they end up being very black and white. So even though the outside of this is pretty dark and sticking with that kind of black and gray theme. The inside is different. I wanted it to be semi-industrial, but also have like pops of color. Well, it's mostly color actually. I wanted to get a few different colors in there. But right now I'm still working on the outside. I wanted to do a little bit of landscaping, but um, the theme for this build is pretty minimalistic because I felt like that was appropriate for the style of home that I was building, which you'll see later. I didn't really do a lot of clutter in the house, and I guess I'll talk about that more later. But with the landscaping too, I kind of futzed around a little bit trying to decide what I wanted to do. I definitely knew I wanted those hedges as the almost fence around the property, but it took me a little bit to decide what plants to use. Um, and actually, I put like a bunch of different bushes around the front that I ended up nixing because it felt like too much. Like I said, I was really kind of going for more of a minimalistic approach because of the whole industrial theme. But I did like those really tall flowers that are there. I don't actually know what they're called. I think another sim um, channel said what they were recently, but I wasn't really paying attention to that. Um, and like I said, I will say that this channel will be a little different because I'm relatively new to building, and every other simmer channel I watch, they're pretty much experts. So maybe this is a unique perspective for somebody that's either just starting out with The Sims or just starting out building. Um, and one thing I did want to talk about, if you're watching the video here, or I think a little bit before this, it kind of looked like nothing was happening. Well, see, look right now too. And I realized it's because the way I recorded it, you can't actually see the build mode catalog while I'm going through it and trying to decide what to select. And I'm not sure why that happened, but actually, if any of you that are watching know and would love to share that with me, that would be absolutely wonderful because then I could make a better video the next time and it won't look like there's a whole bunch of lag. I think it's just like a few times in the video that are really kind of like, well, nothing's going on here. But yeah, if I could improve upon that, that would be wonderful. And then hopefully, I mean, I don't have like really big goals with this channel, but I was thinking that, I'm starting to try to build some more interesting homes. So I thought I would like to share them and then just see if we get any interest. So as I said before, I'm looking for like pops of color, while still sticking with like semi-industrial feel. I feel like I'm saying that a lot. I don't know how else to describe it. I didn't want something like traditional type furniture, or I feel like the thin legs of the furniture is a very more kind of modern, or I feel like they would be in this kind of house. So for the walls, I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do. I ended up sticking with this paneling. I really like it, and I used like different colors in all the main rooms. So like as you can see, I tore down the middle wall between the two front shipping containers because I knew I wanted that to be like an open area. And then the kitchen is this back one here. I'm trying to figure out if I want to do like backsplash or whatever on here. And that's just like a little bit closed off, but I still wanted it to feel open to the rest of the main space. I actually did end up sticking with that orange and teal kind of paneling you see there. And I thought it ended up working out pretty well. So that coffee table I actually really like, and I ended up finding the um, end table for it too. Really liked how the TV looks in the corner like that, so I ended up reframing the living room to, you know, center on the corner instead of how you would traditionally place your furniture. But then, like you see here, I was trying to utilize the space back there, and nothing, it doesn't really look right. See, there's the end table. Oh, so weird fact, that little end table, I think I ended up putting another one on the other side by the door, and at the end of the build, I noticed that it somehow ended up in front of the door. So I did change it for the screenshots that I took at the end, so everything should be fine with that. Um, I also ended up adding a couple things after I finished the videos, so they are in the screenshots too. So if you like the house and you end up wanting to download it from the gallery, it is in there the way you will see in the screenshots at the end, not necessarily what you see at the end of the video, if that makes sense. So yeah, right now I'm just trying to furnish the entryway area, which is kind of big for an entryway if you're looking at like that's the same size as the like living room space. But I just wanted to have it like sparsely furnished, so um, and that that rug, I ended up having to resize that because I realized later it was, see, actually you can see there, it was on the outside of the house too. Um, I really like that desk. I don't think I've ever used it before, and the computer, but the computer I think is an unlockable from a career that I probably haven't done yet. That's another thing, like why, I feel like if you unlock a certain career item in one of your games, you should be able to access it from then on in all of your games, right? Because your sim can't possibly go through every career during their lifetime, I guess, unless you had a really long game with aging off, but you can't use all of those objects. So, I don't know. Just a thought. Anyway, it took me a while to figure out the cabinetry in the kitchen because, or the color scheme at least. I was trying to, like, not match it to the wall, but like complement. And I was like, oh, there's some cool colors for the cabinets, but it was really the wrong orange, so it didn't end up using those. I actually ended up matching the cabinets pretty much to that little teal color that is like in place of backsplash. It's a little bit off in color, but I feel like it works. Um, where normally I probably wouldn't. But hey, it's The Sims, right? So yeah, I ended up changing. Oh, well, I realized I had to fix some lighting in the other rooms too, but I didn't want it to be too bright. I felt like that was like more of a modern thing for it to feel like super bright with these overhead lights. So I think I ended up only putting one in the main area, because I had lamps on the tables and stuff. But I feel like the lamps that well, the overhead lamps, whatever you want to call it, in the kitchen were actually pretty well suited. Wow, I just realized that they're not actually in line with each other. I don't know if I fixed that later. I don't think I did. You could probably just go in on the gallery and see that it's still messed up. I also felt like that range, the hood, went really well with the theme of the kitchen. And I just wanted like a little table because there's two of them. I felt like that little table was good because I could still have two guests and everybody would be comfortably seated over there. Um, so that worked out pretty well. Something I never thought to do until recently watching other simmer channels is putting like rugs or mats in front of like the sinks and dishwashers or whatever. But then like I couldn't decide which one to use. And I kept moving the dishwasher or actually changed the dishwasher too, to try to make it all matchy. And then I was just see, it's, it's really counterintuitive to have a rug underneath a table because if in real life, like it would catch all the crumbs and stuff. But it actually looks really nice in the game. Like I have carpet in my dining room right now, and it is super annoying, but it looks nice in the game. um, I mean, I do generally in my builds, I try to keep it as realistic as possible, but there are some things that do suffer for aesthetics. I will say that. Okay, so I think, yeah, now I'm working on the first bedroom. I couldn't decide. I mean, like I said, I already had a family picked out for this. Couldn't decide which sim is gonna be in which bedroom yet, but um, I wasn't sure about this bed because I feel like it might be more of like a different style, but I liked the colors, and I'll just leave it at that because it ended up working. I knew I wanted like like one bedroom to be warmer and one to be like more definitely modern looking. Like the other one's like white and gray. Um, so I really like that dresser too. I didn't think that she could walk around with it being in that spot though. Kind of wish I had one more tile um in the room because the placement of items was a little bit difficult because of where like I didn't want to put the bed against a wall with a window, and that only left one option really because the other wall's too short. So, yeah, just playing around with lighting a little bit, doing the lighting in the bathrooms because those are generally brighter. But again, I didn't want that first bedroom up there to be super bright. Um, so yeah, I put the vision, night vision on, if you want to call it that, so I could see the lighting in the house, what's gonna look like at different times. Yeah, and that lamp, I don't know where I ended up putting it. Oh, in her bedroom. Yeah, the front bedroom. I really like that one. I feel like is definitely industrial. Um, so I kind of wanted to go for like a warmer theme in her bathroom too. I used the same wallpaper in this bathroom and the other one, but just different colors, like I did with like the front rooms. Just being different colors of the same paneling, I guess you'd call it. So I did a little bit of like moving stuff around and trying to figure out what would look best with that because I was basically working the theme off of the wallpaper. So um, I did like that little table, the circular one, but I felt like since there's only a sink with like a pedestal, that she would need something with drawers, which see, I was thinking of using one of those like tall organizer things, but that didn't end up like matching well enough. The mirror really irritated me too because I felt like I couldn't find a mirror that was like the right color and the right size. I think I ended up staying with the original one just because it felt like it suited the best. Um, Actually, I think at the very, very end of the video, or maybe even after the video for the screenshots, I ended up putting this shower on an angle, like in the corner, which I've never done before, but it actually ended up looking pretty cool. So, moving on to the second bedroom, which, like I said, is like more stark gray and white, more modern um, than really the rest of that. I mean, the whole house is kind of modern, but more industrial, which I guess you can be both because modern is kind of like a time period instead of a style, I guess. Yeah, I did end up changing that dresser into a wardrobe instead, which I felt like looked really good in the corner. I thought about later I could have tried to put like a plant or something on top of that wardrobe. Um, but again, like I did put a plant in the corner and I just felt like I wanted everything to be more minimalistic in this house. I didn't actually put, if you're looking at the way I'm furnishing, I didn't put the clutter in and really not any art until after I was done with like the furniture and everything. So this is definitely like dark white bathroom. But like I feel like in real life it would make me very happy because you would clean it a lot because you would constantly see whenever it got the slightest bit dirty. Never had a completely white bathroom. I don't know why my voice just broke there. I mean, it's kind of late right now. I will tell you too, I've been working on this first video with several different recording programs and the video editing programs. I hope it turns out okay, good enough quality for YouTube. I think the final product is pretty good, but definitely a beginner here, like I said before, so maybe somebody that's watching this can take solace in that. Not everybody that's on YouTube or, playing Sims is an expert, even though I have been playing the franchise for, I want to say 20 years now, which sounds ridiculously long. And it makes me feel super old. But anyway, so yeah, like I said earlier, I ended up putting that Shea Lounge outside. I really like the Shea Lounge. Um, I just couldn't fit it in the house very well. So I wanted to put a little bit of foliage behind that, a little bit of plants outside, but like I said, not too much. Um, and see, it would be helpful here if you could see that I'm actually looking through the catalog for what to put there. It might not seem as boring. Oh my gosh, this little planter thing ended up irritating me a lot because, well, another thing about this lot is it's one of those lots that if you go too far in one direction, it completely shifts your perspective on the lot and the house. So, wow, it looks a lot shorter in the video, but I feel like it was a long time of me trying to get the placement of that planter right outside. So anyway, now I moved on to adding some art and clutter into the house. Like I said, it's not too much, but I did want it to be a little like the art. I wanted to have a little bit more eclectic and um, different colors for everything. Wow, right now is a really big kind of light. You know why? Because I was looking for that specific calendar. One thing I'll say about The Sims 4, like anytime I try to use the search bar for a specific item that I want, like I feel like all the items are labeled very oddly. Like I literally typed in calendar and only two calendars came up, and originally I was looking for the pets one, and it's called something like 6 Days of Pets. That's the item name. It has nothing about calendar in the item name at all. But it's funny because after all that work, I didn't even end up liking that with the theme, so I went back to the Sims in uniform calendar. So like I said, just adding like minimal clutter to the kitchen, really only like essential. I don't know what I thought I was doing with that. I think I thought it was wall art or something. Um, but anyway, yeah, I only wanted to add stuff that was pretty much essential to cooking. So obviously we've got some pots and pans, we got the spoons, the serving spoons, and the knives on the wall. Just a bread box and like a dish rack. Because even though like I have a dishwasher, but I still have a dish rack because you don't always wash everything in the dishwasher. And I feel like the dish rack is pretty underutilized in my other build, so I tried to make a point of putting it in this one. Yeah, so I really just wanted to do like the napkins and like a little tiny plant on the table. I felt like that looked cute. Then I was just trying to figure out where to put this other plant, and I think later I ended up finding a bowl of lemons. Well, it's not just lemons, because then I ended up finding the orange swatch. So it's actually oranges to go with our theme. Um, and oh, I thought it was cute that I was able to find um, the wine, well, not wine, the juice picture or nectar, they call it. Um, and I had a swatch that pretty much matched. And of course, I put it behind the little wine rack that they have there. So I did end up putting a plant behind the TV. I don't know if you saw that. It went pretty quick, but I felt like I was happy that I was able to use up that space a little bit because I didn't really want just a blank wall there. Um, but the lamp was definitely not working. So, oh yeah, there's the lemons that I ended up changing to oranges. I'm still a little bit new. I don't know if you can tell at like moving the counters out to get the right placement with the Alt key, but I definitely love doing it. And also the OMSP shelf, the red shelf, that is very useful too. I recently discovered that I think a month ago, but I didn't end up using it in this build because I didn't have to change the height of anything. So that was fortunate. So, just moving on to the bedroom. I actually kind of wish I had stuck with that painting over the bed. I mean, I do like what I ended up with, which really is more simple than that landscape. So, probably actually looks better. Yeah, I thought I was gonna make it bigger at first, but I just changed the height instead, and it seemed to work out pretty well. So I'm just adding a little bit of clutter. I felt like a shoe rack would be good. They're both kind of into fashion. These Sims, the one of them is like a style influencer, and the other one works in social media. I can't remember which track. I want to say like internet personality or something, but she's also very stylish. So um, I felt like they both needed a shoe rack for sure. So, moving on to the clutter in the bathroom. I don't know why I thought that that arts and crafts thing could look like a little caboodle of like makeup or something. Like, Kit and Caboodle. I feel like most of the people that will be watching this video will have no idea what I'm talking about when I say Kit and Caboodle. But I had this little like caboodle thing when I was little, and had all my, well, I didn't have makeup yet, but I had all my little stuff in it. Please let me know if you know what I'm talking about when I say a caboodle. Leave it in the comments, please. Um, so yeah, and another thing I think I mentioned before that I never really put rugs in front of like the sink in the kitchen and such. And I don't really do it too much in front of the showers either. So I felt like I needed to do that in this build. And oh, see, I did end up putting it on the diagonal. And I thought that looked good. So yeah, I'm just adding clutter to the other bathroom. I'm so glad that I figured out how to rearrange where the clutter goes so that it's not just snapping to the predestined, you know, 4 or 5 spots that it could actually fit on the counter. And then, all these things that you could never put on the counter with the sink, like the soap and the toothbrush. You know what? I did not give a toothbrush to the other bathroom. I guess that girl will just have to come to this bathroom and get it. Well, I can't speak anymore. That was another concern I had with this video, was actually being able to talk through the whole thing. I'm not a really good like public speaker, so I wasn't sure how comfortable I'd be. And obviously, you can write in the comments about how I stumble over my words and everything, or how you really didn't mind. But we are coming up on the end of the video. So the build is available for download on the gallery. My username on there is actually AuraX22, so that's AURAX22. I did make a rookie mistake in uploading it before I play tested it. So a couple things. You're going to need to move the pot rack in the kitchen if you want to cook. The plant by the computer apparently caused it to, like, you can't just click on the computer and do a task. You have to sit down at the chair first. So if you want to fix that, you just need to move the plant. And I totally forgot about the mailbox. It's in the corner of the lot over there. Forgot to move it back. But please let me know in the comments below what you think or any ideas for future builds. And thanks for watching.